Have you ever asked a yes or no question? Like, is it raining or is my password correct? That's exactly how computers think. And in Python, we call this Boolean logic. Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're gonna explore one of the most important foundations of programming, Boolean logic in Python. Booleans are all about yes or no answers in your Python code. For example, is 5 equal to 5? Is 10 bigger than 20? Do these two words match? By the end of this video, you will understand what true and false really mean in Python, how to use comparison operators, how logical operators combine results, and we will even look at truth tables to clearly see why Python gives the results it does. Let's start with the basics. What is a Boolean? A Boolean is a special type of data in Python that can only have two values, true or false. Think of it like a light switch. It is either on or off. Simple, right? Here's how it looks in Python code. Print true, print false. If you run this, Python will show true, false in the console. Notice the capital letters. In Python, we must write true with a capital T and false with a capital F. If we try lowercase, Python gives us an error. This will cause an error. Booleans are super important because they let your program make decisions, check conditions, and control how your code behaves. In the next section, we will see how to compare values and get Boolean results automatically. One of the most common ways to get Boolean values in Python is by comparing two things. Comparison operators let us check two values and automatically gives us true or false. Here are the most common comparison operators, such as equal to, not equal to, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. Let's see them in action with some numbers. For example, x is 5, y is 8, then print x equal to y. Is 5 equal to 8? The answer is no. So the result is false because 5 is not equal to 8. Another example is print x is not equal to y. Is 5 not equal to 8? That's true because 5 is not equal to 8. And print x is less than y. Is 5 less than 8? That's true because 5 is less than 8. Print x greater than y. 5 is greater than 8. False because 5 is less than 8. Print x is less than or equal to y. Is 5 less than or equal to 8? Which means 5 is less than 8 but not equal to 8. So 5 is either less than or equal to 8. And the last one is print x is greater than or equal to y. Is 5 greater than or equal to 8? No, because 5 is not equal to 8 or 5 is not greater than to 8. So the result is false. That's good. Comparisons also work with text or strings. But remember, Python treats uppercase and lowercase letters as different. For example, print asibah is equal to asibah. The first name A is capital, the second one is small. So the result is false because here asibah with a capital A is not equal to asibah with a lowercase a. So the result is false. But if both strings match exactly, Python returns true. For example, print asibah equals asibah. That's true because both strings are the same. Whenever you compare two values, Python immediately tells you either true or false. Now that we know how to get Boolean values using comparison operators, let's learn how to combine them using logical operators. Logical operators help our code make smarter decisions. The three main ones are AND, true if both are true, or true if at least one is true, not flips true to false, and false to true. Here are some examples. For example, print 9 greater than 7 and 2 less than 4. So in this example, first check that 9 greater than 7 is true, because 9 is greater than 7 actually. Yes. Then again, compare the second expression. 2 less than 4 is true. With AND, both must be true. The result is true because both comparisons are true and the result is true in AND logical operators. The second example, print 8 equal to 8 or 6 different from 6. The logical operator is OR, and we first compare 8 equal to 8 is true. That's true. 6 is not equal to 6, false. With OR, only one needs to be true. So the result is true because the first expression is 8 is equal to 8. That's true. At least one is true. The result is true. Okay. Another example, print not 3 less than or equal to 1. 3 less than or equal to is false because 3 is not less than 1 or not equal to 1. And when you flip to false, the result is true because not logical operator flip the true to false or false to true. Python first evaluates the comparison operators inside the parentheses. Then it applies the logical operator AND or not. Finally, it prints the final true or false result. Logical operators are super useful when you need to check multiple conditions at once, like validating a password, checking game rules, or filtering data. If this feels a little confusing, don't worry. This is exactly where truth tables helps us. Truth tables show all the possible outcomes for logical operators. So you can see exactly why Python gives true or false. For example, in the AND logical operator, true and true is true, true and false is false, false and true is false, false and false is false. And the AND logical operator, to get true result, both must be true, otherwise false. Or logical operator, true or true is true, true or false is true, false or true is true, false or false is false. In the OR logical operator, both is false, the result is false, otherwise true. The other is not. Not true means false, just flipping true to false, and not false is true. These tables are like cheat sheets. Once you understand them, combining conditions becomes much easier. Now let's apply Booleans to some real-world style examples, and remember, we are still keeping it simple. For example, checking if two users entered the same password. Password 1 is Python123. Password 2 is Python123. Then print password 1 equal to password 2. The result is true because they are the same. Both passwords match exactly, so the result is true. This is how login systems check if the password you entered matches the one stored in the system. Now let's look at a shopping example, checking if a customer is eligible for free shipping. The rule is they get free shipping if they spend more than $50 or if they have a premium membership. Here is an example. Spend is 65, premium member is false, then print spend greater than 50 or premium member. Here, the first condition is true because they spent more than 50 because spent is 65, that is greater than 50, even though they are not a premium member, because premium member is initially false. So the OR operator makes the whole result true because one of the expression is true. This is how websites combine conditions to decide things like discounts, shipping, or access to features. And that's Boolean logic in Python. In this lesson, we explored Boolean values, comparison operators, logical operators, truth tables to break it all down, and some real-world examples where Boolean makes decision in code. Remember, Booleans are the foundation of decision-making in Python. They answer those yes or no questions that shape how programs behave. And trust me, we will use them a lot when we move into conditional statements in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.